Hello everyone, and welcome to this tutorial. Today, we'll walk you through the process of connecting FlexSim to Microsoft SQL Server. FlexSim is the powerful simulation software, can be connected to various databases to enhance data management and analysis. The supported databases include Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQLite, ODBC. These connections allow FlexSim to seamlessly import and export data, enabling advanced simulation modeling and real-time data processing. Now, let's focus on connecting FlexSim to Microsoft SQL Server, one of the most widely used relational database management systems. To achieve this, you'll need to download and install two key software tools. SQL Server, this is the database engine that stores, manages, and processes your data. SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS, this is the graphical interface used to interact with SQL Server, manage databases, and execute queries. Without SSMS, you wouldn't have an easy way to interact with SQL Server. To begin, download SQL Server and SSMS from the official Microsoft website, link in the video description. Install SQL Server first. Download the SQL Server Express Edition. Once the download is complete, locate the exe file and double-click to begin the installation. Choose the basic installation option for simplicity. You can either keep the default installation location or customize it as per your preference. Accept the license terms and click Install. Once the installation is complete, you'll see a confirmation window. Click Connect now to verify the installation. If you see a message saying one row affected, your SQL Server is successfully installed. Copy the connection string displayed here and save it in a safe place. You'll need it later to connect FlexSim to the database. Then, install SSMS, link in the video description. Locate the exe file and double-click to install. Follow the prompts and click Install. After the installation is complete, close the SSMS window. Now, open SSMS from your Start menu. Once it is opened, in the Server Type section and drop-down menu, click on the Database Engine. In the Server Name section, in the drop-down menu, you can see an address and browse for more options. Click on the address, which is shown first. This address is the database address, so copy this address and save it in a safe place so it will be used when we connect FlexSim to the database. To enable authentication, select Windows Authentication from the drop-down menu. In the encryption section, click on the drop-down menu and select Optional. Click Connect to establish a connection to your SQL Server instance. With SSMS open, let's create a sample database and table. Navigate to the Databases section in the left panel, then click New Query to open a query window. First create a database name, as Corporate DB, and click Run command. The Corporate DB database name has been successfully created and stored. The code will be executed only once at a time, where it will not run again, when it is already executed successfully. Here is a sample SQL code that will be stored in the under database name Corporate DB. I will explain the code. This Corporate DB is the database name. Replace database name with your preferred name. First, we're creating a table called Employees. Think of a table as a spreadsheet with rows and columns, where each row represents a record, and each column represents a specific attribute of that record. Here's what each column means. Employee ID, a unique identifier for each employee. It's an integer and is set as the primary key, meaning no two employees can have the same ID. First name and last name, these are text fields that store the employees' first and last names. The 50 means the maximum length of the text is 50 characters. Department, another text field to store the department the employee works in. Salary, a decimal field to store the employee's salary. The 2 means up to 10 digits total, with 2 digits after the decimal point. Now that we've created the table, we use the Insert Into statement to add rows to the table. For each row, we specify the values for employee ID, first name, last name, department, and salary. For example, the first employee has an ID of 1, the name John Doe, works in the IT department, and earns $60,000. We're adding 8 employees here, but you can add as many as you need. Notice how each employee ID is unique. This ensures that each employee can be uniquely identified in the table. Finally, let's retrieve all the data from the employees table. We use the select statement for this. The star means all columns, so this query will return every column and every row from the employees table. When you run this query, you'll see a table with all the employee data we've inserted so far. Here's what the output of the select statement will look like. Now that our database is ready, let's connect FlexSim to it. Open FlexSim and navigate to Toolbox. In drop-down menu choose Connectivity. And select Database Connector. Here, you have 2 options. It can be connected either by a database address, which is saved and stored in a safe place, or by entering the full connection string, which is also stored securely. I have saved both options in Microsoft OneNote. You can choose your preferred one from these 2. I will connect it by the database address, so I will copy this address. Enter the database details manually. In the Database Type drop-down menu, select SQL Server. In the Database Address field, paste the copied address. In the Database Name field, enter your database name. Click on the Test Connection. If the details entered correctly, Connection Succeeded shows. So to import data to FlexSim, from SQL Database, click the Import column next to Connection. So in order to import data to FlexSim, which is in table format, create a global table, in FlexSim. Navigate to the toolbox, in the drop-down menu, select Global Table. Now, the global table is created. You can change the name of global table, if you want. Renaming it to Corporate Data. Click the Sampler and Import column in Database Connector. With Sampler, click the created Corporate Data table. Click on it, on the right side, in the Query window, in Select from Table Name. Clear the table name, and copy SQL Query table name, which is Employees, and paste it in the FlexSim import query. Click on the Import Now button, you can see the created table. This code connects to the database, retrieves the data from the employees table, and clones it into a FlexSim global table named Corporate Data. You can now use this data within your FlexSim model. To export data from FlexSim back to the database, let's say you've made some changes to the global table. I am adding another row in the table, 9th row is added. You can add rows and columns as you need. Then to export the table back to SQL Database, open the Database Connector window and click on the Export section. Select the global table you want to export. Using Sampler, click the particular table. And click on the selected global table in the box. After selecting it, you can see global table name as Corporate Data, and below that, to Table, in drop-down menu, selecting the Employees, which is the SQL Database table name, will be shown at first. It is table to which we are exporting our FlexSim global table data. Below that Append to Table checkbox, select this checkbox if you want the export operation to append to the table, instead of clearing the table before exporting. Select the column to export, if you add a column to the global table, but make sure you change the SQL Database query code. By adding a column in that code, you can specify the column name in both the fields using the drop-down menu. By clicking Export, open the SSMS, and clear these code, and with this, use Corporate DB. Select from Employees, Code. We can import the FlexSim global table. Click on the Execute. And you can see the edited global table 9th row is getting added. You should see the updated records in the results window. And that's it. You've successfully connected FlexSim to Microsoft SQL Server, created a database, and imported and exported data between the 2. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.